I'm only going to dress this shit one time. Since y'all want to be on the front line. Hey, yo, Remy, don't you love me? See, right there, that's the front line. That's the front line.
Breaking. The captain is finally losing it. Therefore, you'd better pay attention to this because the feud between Eazy the Block and Remy Ma is about to get nasty. Rumor has it that the most recent trauma event was affliction. Furthermore, Captain has been informing everyone he knows about Eazy the Block and Remy Ma that Remy still harbors feelings for Papoose. Sources claim that after he openly questioned her allegiance, the two got into a furious altercation in the car. According to reports, he is angry with Remy for introducing him to Papoose's new girlfriend. According to the latest accounts, the disagreement wasn't out of the ordinary. Blowout Remy performed them, in case you missed this incredible event. After weeks of accumulation, it has finally boiled over. You read properly. Yes, reportedly. Remained fixated on Papoose and his new relationship for several months, using Eazy as a rebound. When it became known that Remy Ma had cheated on Papoose with a laid-back underground rapper in late 2023, rumors of Remy and Papoose's divorce began to circulate. Remy Ma has been in the news a lot ever since. Things became worse when Captain Papoose made their split public after posting a Father's Day picture of him with his child. When Remy and E suddenly stopped hanging out together following their breakup, everyone knew that their marriage was over. Things took a turn for the worse during a brawl with rapper G Gotti didn't mince words when he exposed the real cause of Remy and E's strong bond. Even though Remy was spotted helping out behind the scenes, he attacked everything, even her turbulent relationship with EA's. Will there be more chaos ahead? Or will Remy and EA's as brief connection with the Block captain come to an end? This drama is far from ended, so stay tuned.
If found out you was in the help, that could really ruin your We're talking rocking with Sam, Rapping Reed.
Did Gotti refrain from accusing Remy Ma of cheating on Papoose, the man who had supported her during her incarceration and been faithful to her for years?
Tell the world I ain't think this woman the greatest. Held you down and drinking for 6 years.
What's even more stunning is that instead of denying these allegations of infidelity, Papoose appeared to embrace them, admitting that Remy wasn't as faithful as everyone thought. Immediately after dropping the bombshell, Gotti said this again.
Found out you was in the help, that could really ruin your image. Rocking with Sam, Rapping Reed.
It's no secret that Remy's reputation took a serious hit when the allegations of her adultery started to spread. Knowing Remy, we all thought she would refute the charges. But this is when things go wrong. She decided to keep quiet rather than address the problem, but it turns out that Remy wasn't just fiddling with the Block. Silence is not an indication of weakness. Even though EA's made news, another player doesn't want to be spotted in public with Remy. The bad news is that the identification was quickly made public. She was in a polyamorous relationship, according to numerous stories from different media outlets. The story becomes more heated when she is criticized for her close relationship, doesn't it? Another underground rapper was spotted wearing matching watches and holding hands. When Remy first tried to deny this link, guess what happened? The truth was revealed after it was confirmed by several media sites. Remy shocked the world a few weeks ago by purportedly admitting that she had been dating someone else. Clarissa Shields, just when you thought things couldn't get any more scandalous. A screenshot of Papo with his new girlfriend was even posted by boxing champion Remy, who included a negative caption. While on the phone with Clarissa Shields, Papoose fell asleep and refused to leave my house. Remy and Clarissa Shields' relationship fell apart after her shocking revelation. Following a furious dispute with Clarissa, the two women vowed to assault Remy if they ever crossed paths again. When she heard my voice, this woman, who was allegedly a boxing world champion, hung up. I'll tell you everything right now. And You're not by yourself. When Remy chastised Papoose for starting a new relationship, many of his followers were shocked since. Let's not ignore Remy hasn't let go of Papoose, as seen by her persistent animosity. As if this story couldn't get any more amazing, she betrayed him first. She finds it unbearable when he finds serenity with someone else. After all the drama with Clarissa, she is upset that he moved on with someone else. And it's clear that she doesn't want to see him happy. Remy comes to a public event a few minutes into the play. The audience's response to WAS's performance was astounding. During the block captain's rap battle, the crowd had started to cheer him on. But what happened next took everyone by surprise.
I'm only going to dress this one time. Since y'all want to be on the front line. Hey, yo, Remy, don't you love me? See, right there, that's the front line. That's the front line.
Within hours after the video's release, it went viral. And people swiftly criticized Remy Ma for what they saw as her interfering with Papoose's relationship. Despite the fact that she was still discussing Messy with Eazy, the block captain. Even though Remy wasn't ready for the criticism, she decided to immediately answer yes when the question was asked in order to save the controversy from getting worse. Sources are now revealing that things weren't as they first appeared to be. Now that the truth is out, Ayaz put her in danger by not alerting her to the impending revelation. And as a result, Remy and a source said that EA's and a furious dispute erupted. Eazy feels taken advantage of because she doesn't treat him with the respect he deserves, and Remy has been on a warpath ever since she reprimanded Papoose for dating someone else. But since moving on to Remy while she was at peace with Papoose was treachery. And treason always has repercussions. This is where karma might be at play. Some claim that Eazy's decision is his karma coming full circle, and he is currently coping with the fallout. The whole situation is being discussed by fans, and many are surprised to learn that Remy may have cheated on Papoose after. To reiterate what I just said, Remy Ma is the perfect example of why some people believe that dating a New York woman is terrible. Despite the years of commitment and support, many people hold her responsible for everything he did for her, claiming that she ought to have treated him better. Remy Ma has died more horribly than anyone else that comes to mind, and she will continue to die during this perimenopausal and midlife crisis. In retrospect, she will see that this was the worst decision she has ever made. As spectacular as his ascent to prominence is the personal narrative of someone like 50 Cent, who fought his way to it with unshakable will. Family may be difficult. Few people are aware of the pain and sorrow that underlie his personal life, despite the fact that he is well known as a rap artist. Do you really care for Papoose? Or did she use Eazy the block captain as a way to move on from him? We have witnessed the mayhem, but what is the true cause of it all? Please leave your remarks in the space provided below. 50 Cent's tale is more complex than it first appears. When 50 Cent's then-girlfriend, Sheena Tompkins, gave birth to Marquise in 1996, 50 Cent real name Curtis Jackson became apparent. Everything appeared to be going smoothly at the time, but the family bond deteriorated along with their tumultuous relationship. There was already tension between 50 and his oldest son, Mares Jackson. He has juggled complicated links from his past while also giving his younger son, Sire, all of his love and attention. The Marquis adored their father as a child and viewed him as a superhero, someone who was bigger than life. But as he grew older, that wonder gave way to disillusionment. And by the time they got to the legal end of things in 2008, their father-son relationship was barely hanging on thanks to 50 disputes with Tompkins and contentious court proceedings that required a lawyer to facilitate communication. The final straw came in 2008 when Mares was shown with Griff, Kenneth Supreme's son. 50 Cent was deeply angered by this treachery and responded on social media by stating that he wouldn't mind if Mares and Mick Griff's son was struck by a bus. Family members stated Mares regularly caused difficulties by deliberately doing things to annoy his father. a direct statement that showed how tense their relationship had become. He would post stuff online that annoyed him or hang out with people he didn't like. Neither side was willing to give up, so it turned into a strange game about sadness rather than disdain, stating that he thought his son was not treating him with any respect. Despite the fact that he had given Mars far more money than he had ever had as a child. In 2022, Mars made a public attempt to get his father's attention by promising $6,700, the same monthly child support payment that 50 had made in exchange for just one day of his father's time. 50 rejected the offer, claiming that social media wouldn't be a part of a sincere attempt to make peace. Even though Mara said that it wasn't about money and that all he wanted was to spend time with his father, Maris later revealed that he had tried to speak with his father privately, but had failed because he didn't have his father's phone number and social network prohibitions. Maris releases songs, enters the music industry, and tries to distance himself from his father's shadow because he is keen to establish himself despite the agony. However, 50 Cent's bond with his younger son, Sire, seems to be stronger despite the challenges he has encountered throughout the highs and lows of his family's past. One about love, treachery, and the challenges of managing family relationships. It reminds us that even the wealthiest people can have family problems that are disguised and cover up layers of happiness, sorrow, and strife. 50 Cent's experiences as a father and a son are not unusual. He and Daphne Joy welcomed their second son, Sire, into the world in September 2012. Despite their tumultuous relationship, he appeared to have a closer bond with his oldest son, Maris. Daphne made a social media post in March 2024 declaring that she no longer trusted 50 as a dad, that she was upset, and that he had mistreated her. Despite 50 Cent's denials, the public claims further complicated their already complicated relationship. There were allegations that 50 was relocating to obtain sole custody of Sire at this time, and Daphne was being accused of working as an adult, something she strongly denied. The drama was now widely reported in headlines and was no longer confined to courtrooms. Their argument had already caught the attention of the media. In 2013, 50 was charged with domestic violence following Anne. However, he never wavers in his commitment to his heritage, particularly with regard to Sir. In a recent interview, he made it clear that his youngest son will inherit all of his money and that everything he has accomplished will be for Sir to carry. Following a violent disagreement, he was accused of kicking Daphne and causing damage to her possessions. He pleaded guilty to petty vandalism to escape more severe penalties, yet the offense still resulted in 3 years of probation and community service. McGriff is more than just a nickname for people who know 50's background. He's associated with a challenging period in the rapper's life. Seeing his son with the child of someone so closely associated with the crime was a breaking point for McGriff, who was allegedly involved in the 2000 shooting that almost killed 50 people. While admirers continued to commend his devotion to Sire, many were left wondering what would become of his firstborn child. Mars. One of the most controversial incidents in the ongoing tale of the fight between 50 and Mars occurred in 2018, when Mars shared a photo of his son with Kenneth Supreme McGriff's son, had changed, leaving fans to question whether there was any potential for reconciliation. While 50 Cent's laser-like focus on building a future for Sire loomed in the background. Beneath the headlines and platinum albums is the tale of a man who has experienced both grief and success, more than just a product of Queens, New York. Curtis Jackson was reared by a single mother who bravely battled to provide him with a better existence. His hustler mother, Sabrina Jackson, was the focal point of his existence. She would stop at nothing to support her child. Including when Curtis was just 8 years old in 1983, her life on the streets was brutally taken from her. His mother was drugged, forced unconscious, and had her apartment burned down in what police believed to be a homicide. Her life was forever changed by the mystery surrounding 50 Cent's murder. Despite living in a dangerous part of South Jamaica, Queens, She was well known for her courage and bravery, achieving strides in a world that wasn't fair to women like her. It was a pivotal moment in Curtis's life that strengthened his drive, ambition, and unwavering will to succeed. But it also left scars that molded the complex man we know today. Father trying to balance the hurt of unresolved relationships with his legacy. 50 Cent's life has always revolved around his family. But there have been many heartaches and hardships along the way. The loss of his mother, Sabrina Jackson, when he was only 8 years old, left 50 Cent with a permanent scar, which he has discussed in interviews. He remembers the details of her abrupt absence and the impact it had on him, stating that someone placed something in her beyond simply being his mother. Sabrina was a tough, practical lady who ensured her son was ready for the challenging world he would face. 50 claims that she was firm but nurturing, constantly motivating him to get back up and try again. As a child and later as a well-known star, her advice to get up, "What are you crying for?" stayed with him and influenced how he dealt with life's obstacles. She took away the one person who was really important to him, and he knows that even as an adult, life may be unexpected. Ended up in South Jamaica, Queens, under the care of his grandmother. He began working, distributing drugs, and learning how to live on the streets when he was 12 years old. He didn't want to go down this route, but he felt forced to do so in order to survive. When talking about those years, 50 Cent has never held back. His songs and interviews clearly show a time of fights, arrests, and dangerous decisions. But his grandmother was his pillar of support and the one constant in a chaotic life. The stark contrast is brought to light when he recalls that "I was my grandmother's baby." Because of his rough exterior on the streets and the need to get permission to walk home from school, living with his grandma wasn't always simple, because his Aunt Sylvia was angry that Curtis had replaced her in the family. Tensions were high. Nevertheless, 50 Cent had a good relationship with his grandmother, who often thought she recognized his mother's qualities in him. This wordless tie weighed on him every day, but it also made her love for him stronger. Years later, the loss of his grandma was more agonizing than anything 50 had ever experienced. Remembering his whole family gathering at the hospital after he was sent there? Even though she was frail, her eyes sparkled as he spoke to her, and after their brief conversation, he saw that her pulse rate had decreased. In August 2024, 50 experienced yet another devastating loss when he shared a heartfelt Instagram post commemorating his grandfather's sacrifices. He had to deal with the death of his aunt, who turned to him and said, "She was waiting for you." In addition to the recurring tragedies of losing friends and loved ones to violence, drugs, and accidents, this was happening. Although 50 Cent still values his family, he hasn't always had a smooth relationship with them. His connection with Daphne Joy, the mother of his youngest son, Sire, serves as one illustration. Public accusations and legal disputes have characterized their tumultuous relationship. In a no-deleted Instagram post from May 2023, model and actress Daphne accused 50 Cent of mistreating her, which infuriated the viewers. 50 Cent responded by bringing a slander complaint, alleging despite the chaos, 50 Cent remains devoted to his family and creates a legacy full of love, grief, and insurmountable obstacles. 50 Cent has always made it clear that he wants to be a part of his parents' tumultuous relationship, which Sire has often been at the center of. Daphne's claims that she felt mistreated and manipulated only made the already tense connection between 50 Cent and his child worse, as he was trying to maintain the bond. Although he was free to resubmit if needed, 50 Cent chose to abandon the lawsuit in September 2023, despite the heated back and forth. He appeared to want to temporarily remove himself from the legal drama. But it's unclear if this was done to defuse the issue or as part of a bigger plan. His legal lawsuit against Daphne Joy has been exacerbated by his disagreements with her. Her claims, he said, were an attempt to distance himself from his father and to damage his image. Another unresolved issue is 50 Cent's long-running conflict with Sheena Tompkins, the mother of his oldest son, Mares, which has been a poisonous narrative for more than 20 years, since the late 1990s. Their relationship has deteriorated into a vicious cycle of court cases, public taunts, and ongoing social media teasing. In January 2019, 50 Cent renewed the feud by accusing Shaniqua of squandering money from his first international tours on cosmetic surgery instead of real estate. Sheena didn't hold back and responded sharply, which only exacerbated their already tense relationship. Long after their divorce, the custody battle over their child persisted until 2008. When their relationship had gained widespread attention, financial arrangements were another source of conflict. After 50 Cent revealed that she had been receiving $40,000 per month, or about $500,000 annually, for Maris's care, Shaniqua became irate and wanted more money, when 50 Cent became irate and filed a lawsuit. The monthly sum was reduced to $6,700. However, the drama didn't stop there because Sheena was accused of working with, despite being caught in the crossfire. Their son Maris has attempted to forge his own path and is used to the public spectacle his parents' arguments have created. 50 Cent was angry and responded angrily on Instagram, ordering her to find a real job, despite his efforts to move past the conflict between his parents and forge his own identity. It is clear that he has been impacted by the toxic relationship. Sheena clapped back, showing his anger and concern that she might reveal who he really was. Neither side was prepared to compromise as the crisis grew more intense. The audience has been enthralled by 50 Cent's personal life in addition to these familial matters. Fans initially became aware of the very private rapper's relationship with Cuban link, actual name, Jameer Haynes, during the Power Season 6 premiere. They were attracted to one another right away, and it seemed like their relationship was going well. Above.